Massive fire burns down Samsung headquarters in Abuja. Hoodlums attack lawyer, judicial officers in Gombe. NBA reacts. Ilobu community cry for help over decaying infrastructure. On the foreign scene, South Africa recalls diplomats from Israel over Gaza war. These are the headlines on Trust TV News Update at this hour. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for joining. A massive fire outbreak in Wuse to Abuja has destroyed buildings and goods worth billions of naira in a Monday evening incident. The incident reportedly started from a welding outfit located close to story building housing the Samsung headquarters at Barnex Junction. The fire service, in response to the distress call, arrived at the scene only to be disrupted by onlookers, leading to a police intervention before rescue operations began. According to the fire service, the delay caused the fire to intensify and spread throughout the building. However, efforts were made to contain the blaze from spreading to nearby structures and the filling station in the area. It took the firefighters over 6 hours to extinguish the fire flames. Now, both the Federal Fire Service and FCTA Fire Service maintained one station each on standby until daybreak.
They are just coming, just now. Just now, after how many? Everything has already burnt off. They are just coming. Look at them. They are just coming. See? And people are angry. People are angry. They are running. If you know how many people that lost their job today.
Earlier, we had Assistant Controller Federal Fire Service Abraham Paul, who joined us via Zoom and gave an update.
Well, very unfortunate incident that happened yesterday up until this morning at Barnex Junction. That's the Samsung showroom in Wuse 2. From indication, it's suggestive of the fact that the fire incident started at 19:00 hours. That's about 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And but we got the distress call about 7:30. We immediately deployed our men from the Wuse station, which is in Zone 3. So by 7:38, they were in the vicinity. But unfortunately, hoodlums and miscreants, under the guise of late coming, would not allow us to carry out our function. What they intended actually was to go in there and maybe loot some of those electronics and all of that. We had to now call up the Civil Defense Corps and then the Nigerian police to give us backup. We had very strong information that if we go in there, they were going to attack us. So we needed that backup. Once we had the backup, we swung into action. Unfortunately, it was already a full-blown inferno, but we couldn't have risk our men, risk our machine to hoodlums and miscreants. So we needed to make sure that safety was first for us, the priority, as always. And so once we moved in, we tried to confine the fire to a particular building where it started from. The essence is that just beside the Samsung showroom, the sharing fence with Eternal Oil, that's a filling station, and then on the other side is an incomplete building. Behind them is a hotel, 3-star hotel as the case may be. So we needed to make sure we confine the fire to, that space, and that we did. Further information we now got was that within the building was seated 8,000 liters of diesel, which we also had to ensure that did not explode. So it was a lot of work. We started at about 7:50 and up until 3 a.m. this morning before we were able to take out all the embers and restore the building to. It was a full-blown inferno. Everything in that complex is fuel, waiting to burn. Everything, from piece of papers to design to nylon to electronics to gadgets to wires to refrigerators to gas, just name it. The whole building was laden with fuel, and so extinguishment wasn't going to come easy. I'll tell you on good authority. I was there in person. I arrived there about 8:40, and I was there up until 3 a.m. You know, as long as I became the incident commander, considering that I became the most senior fire officer on ground. So I was coordinating both the FCT fire service and the federal fire service. We had tons of machines coming in. We had machines coming from Ute, coming from the FCT. Two of the machines came. We had machines coming from Gariki. We had like 4 water tenders, ensuring that we get adequate water.
In display of readiness and commitment to ensuring a safe and secure environment for the upcoming off-cycle gubernatorial election, the Combined Force for Operation Safe Conduct has been launched in Kogi with a show of force. The operation was flagged off at the headquarters of the 12th Brigade, Nigerian Army Parade Ground, Chari Maigumeri Barrack, Lokoja, on Monday by the General Officer Commanding 2 Division Nigerian Army, Major General Bamidele Alabi. The GOC said that the ceremony signposted the readiness and preparations the Nigerian Army has over the years put in place in support of other stakeholders in the electoral process in Nigeria and Kogi State in particular. The GOC urged citizens to collaborate with the security agencies and report any suspicious activities that would undermine the peaceful conduct of the election in Kogi on Saturday. Planned by the federal government to purchase utility vehicles worth more than 5.5 billion naira amidst rising living crisis and starvation continues to generate reactions in the country. Some residents of Jigawa share their thoughts on the matter as captured by Adamu Imam.
People who belong to the informal sector of the economy and are struggling to feed daily say the money approved by the National Assembly for the purchase of utility vehicles for the president and his wife amounts to a misplaced priority at the moment. They should attend to the suffering of the people instead of buying expensive cars. That's my honest opinion. They should think about the masses first. Before doing anything, tackling poverty should be their main priority. I think the cars used by immediate past government officials are still okay to be used by the present leaders, so that the money set aside will be channeled to other projects that will benefit the people. Others are of the view that the lawmakers are part of the problem because they are not representing the interests of the Nigerian masses. If the lawmakers decided to approve the purchase of those vehicles, it is to satisfy their interests, not the masses. It means they are choosing the president instead of the people who voted them into office. They should advise the president to reduce the price of fuel. By so doing, we will know that they went there for good representation. Political observers say Nigerian electorate must be circumspect and careful when electing leaders that will represent them at various levels of governance. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Jigawa.
Lagos State Magistrate Court in Yaba on Monday sent back to custody a 37-year-old auxiliary nurse arrested by the police in connection with the controversial death of Afrobeat star Mohbad. The nurse, it was alleged, gave the late singer some injections that resulted in his death. In the same vein, the magistrate, Adiola Olatunbosu, ordered the continued detention of Ayobami Sadiq, a friend to Mohbad's friend, being held as a suspect in the case. The magistrate had granted bail in the sum of 20 million naira to each of Mohbad's ex-boss, Naira Marley, and a Lagos socialite, Sam Larry, who were also implicated in Mohbad's death and taken into custody by the police in October 6th. The Nigerian Bar Association has petitioned the Commissioner of Police in Gombe State to investigate a mob attack on 2 of its members. An upper area court judge, a lawyer, and a judicial staff were attacked while on official duty. to adjudicate disputed land property in Balanga local government area of the state. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
Some may consider this a job hazard, but law is usually considered a safe profession by all standards. For Barrister Usman Yahya, the attack on his life in connection with his everyday job has put him in a critical situation. A judge at Upper Area Court 3, Ayub Abuba Dallas, and a judicial officer were also at the receiving end of a mob attack in Balanga local government area of Gombe State. The location court proceeding, also known as Locus in Co., was attending to legal matter when hoodlums in connection with the case violently attacked them. Barrister Usman Yahya, who is now recovering from his injuries, is demanding justice from the system.
When we reached the farmland, the defendants and their civilians attack us with leather weapons such as sticks. They attack us without any explanation. From then, we escaped from them, and my client, they took me to Cottage Hospital Digiri when I received the first aid treatment.
The Nigerian Bar Association Gombe State branch, in a swift reaction, has written the Commissioner of Police to investigate the matter.
So, but if people have the audacity to attack the court, then, it might be beyond the powers or the capacity or capability of the division or the outpost within the vicinity of the scene of crime. Simply, that was why we petitioned the Commissioner of Police. If anything could be done from the CID, they have more manpower, vehicles, armed personnel, and more trained personnel that would, swing to action to be able to investigate the matter. If there be need to arrest whoever is involved.
Usman, who is now recuperating, has voiced concern over attempt on his life and is reeling from last Saturday's incident, which he considered as a threat to the administration of justice in the country. But the lawyer, although shaken by the event, is unmoved by the development.
If they do not take the immediately action, this kind of acts will occur to another persons. So for the interest of masses, they ought to take an immediate action on that issue.
The NBA has condemned the assault on its members while calling on Nigerians to respect the rule of law and preserve the integrity and dignity of the judiciary. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Gombe.
The infrastructure deficit in Nigeria is multiplying as more communities decry the effects of dilapidated or non-existent infrastructure, making life socio-economically difficult for residents. In Ilobu, town of Osun State, the collapse of 2 bridges means that the community has been cut off from accessing basic amenities like schools and farms. Hamid Oegbadi reports.
Ilobu is one of the big towns in Osun State and headquarters of the old Irepodun local government. This town has endured years of neglect from the government with its decaying infrastructure. The recent collapse of 2 bridges connecting the town to farmlands and basic amenities such as schools and hospitals means life for residents in the area has been significantly disrupted. Without the bridge, there's not much the people can do.
Since the bridge has sunk, many students are not finding it easy to come to school. The school attendance is very low nowadays.
Every first term, the population of the school increased more. But now that the bridge has collapsed, many parents are avoiding their students not to come to our school again through this bridge that has collapsed.
It has actually deprived our younger ones the right access to their school environments. And this has actually affected them to reduce the number of students to be coming to school for each terms of the session.
And it has become a very serious problem since last year that the bridge collapsed totally. And we have been making appeals. We have been praying to government at different levels, different agencies to come to our aid so that the situation will not continue like this.
An appeal for urgent intervention by government has become necessary as socio-economic activities continue to slow down. For residents, the time for infrastructure development has come.
What actually complicated it, you see the second bridge, is that used to be like the alternative, but now, in fact, no vehicle can cross to this side again. So we appreciate government quick intervention before we start losing lives, please.
New roads and bridges have become a top priority for Ilu-Obu, and a timely intervention from government will breathe life back into this town and its people as they keep hope alive for a quick turnaround. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Oshogbo.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. No fish for sale as traders go on strike in Lagos. Details and more after the break.
Hello and welcome to Creative Lounge on Trust TV. My name is Ahmed Mohammed Bello and I'm going to be taking you through my journey as an artist.
Thanks for staying with us. This is the news update on Trust TV. Let's take a look at the top stories. Massive fire burns down Samsung headquarters in Abuja. Hoodlums attack lawyer, judicial officers in Gombe. NBA reacts. Cooking gas prices have spiked again in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, unsettling residents as they decry the rising cost of living in Nigeria. The ever-changing prices of goods and services have become emblematic of Nigeria's current economic downturn since the removal of fuel subsidy, with residents calling on the government to mitigate the effect. Beatrice Kuruti reports.
Unlike other states where scarcity is driving gas prices up, in Maiduguri, the availability of the product is marked by a sharp decline in patronage due to price hike. The steady increase in the price of cooking gas has forced many households to search for alternatives. For a 12 kg cylinder, the price is now 14,000 naira and 28,000 naira for 24 kg.
They always change the price. Last month is different. This month is always different. So next month we don't know what we are going to meet again. We just pray that God should be providing for us. Should have enough money to refill our gas. That's all. Yeah. And I'm supposed to buy 6 kg, but due to the changes, I just feel like let me just go for what I have on my pocket.
Everything has changed. Everything is a bit expensive nowadays, so it's not affordable for us to be buying the gas at that price. It's costing us cheap. I know we have a lot of things to do than to be buying gas at that price. It will be a lot much easier if the price has come down a little.
Da za a gyara mana gas din na dan sauwaje mana shi ya zama ko 200 ko 300 haka. Kada ya wuce 500 dai.
The price should reduce to at least 200 or 300 naira. Let it not be over 500 naira so that a poor man can afford it. Because you can even see that the current price, there are no customers. Some gas stations attribute the price hike to importation costs and the delay in getting the product.
Dalilin hanya ne ba kyau ta Enugu, saboda in sun je direbobin duk suna shan wahala a hanya.
The roads where we get the products are not good Drivers suffer a lot bringing it here. They spent 2 weeks on the road instead of 1 week. Nigerians are grappling with rising cost of living as inflation reaches an all-time high with a sharp increase in price of goods and services. Bichos Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Amidst the mounting food inflation gripping the nation, fish vendors in the Agege area of Lagos State have initiated an indefinite strike. The fish sellers who have halted sale of fish to local residents are appealing to the Nigerian government to take urgent measures to reduce the high cost of fish. Victoria Tokolo was present at the market on Monday to provide us with this unfolding situation. Her report is presented from our studio.
Agege Main Market, a bustling hub for perishable goods, has witnessed a noticeable decline in activity as fish sellers have initiated an indefinite strike, coupled with dwindling consumer patronage. Today, the fish sellers took to the streets, marching through the market and intercepting anyone attempting to vend fish to customers. They collected fish scales and gathered at the main market secretariat for a collective assembly. Iyaoja of Agege, Monsurat Ajayi, says that the strike will persist until the government addresses their demand to lower fish prices in the cold storage facilities. Escalating prices have left both common man and the fish sellers grappling with repercussions of the price surge.
That's the way no get money. Now they eat pala. No, we don't feed eat pala again. 40,000 for 10 kilo. They won't kill us. One pala, 10,000, 7,000 we dey sell am. Money no go complete still. So what you want us to do? They say don't cool it.
Broke a rate of 35,000, 35,000, 38,000, but now it's 58,000 naira. Latest 60,000 naira. 9 months before it's 38,000. Now it's 78,000 naira. So we can't afford it anymore.
But now when we dey buy 6,000, now it's 25,000. This one, I'm buy it 9,000 before, but now it's 35,000 in 12 pieces of fish inside the bag. So I'm tired. I don't fit do business again. Make Nigeria help us.
The substantial rise in fish prices has not only affected the fish sellers, but has placed a heavy burden on everyday consumers, making it increasingly challenging for them to purchase fish for themselves and their families.
For many years back, you can get fish like 200 or 150, but recently just things change immediately. That puppy cannot afford to buy it. We can get panda 4 now, 4 at the rate of 600.
Now, if you know hold 1.5, 2,000, you not go fit buy panda fish. Well, they're not even near am before. Now, hot cake.
The fish sellers are earnestly appealing to government to take immediate action in reducing fish prices within the cold storage facilities. Furthermore, they are asking for a solution to the issue of fuel prices, as it is a significant factor contributing to the soaring cost of fish within the cold storage facilities.
Now in business news, the Naira crashed against the dollar on Monday, falling to 1,030 Naira to the dollar on the average in the parallel market, losing the momentum it gathered last week. This represents 8.42% decline of the local currency compared to the 950 Naira it closed the week last Friday. This is also the first time the Naira is falling since the Central Bank of Nigeria began to clear some of its FX backlog last week. According to the president of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, Aminu Gwadabe, the dollar has gained against the Naira because people who had bought it at a higher price are resisting its fall following the Central Bank of Nigeria's move last week. On the foreign scene, South Africa announced it is withdrawing all its diplomats from the Tel Aviv for consultation over Israel's war on Gaza. Kumbozo Shaveni also said that the cabinet has instructed the foreign ministry to take necessary measures via diplomacy to deal with the conduct of the Israel ambassador to South Africa, Eliav Belotsakovsky, whose conduct, she said, is becoming very untenable. Now, the Israeli ambassador to South Africa is accused of making disparaging comments against those who raise their voices against attacks on Palestinians. Now, South Africans have held over a dozen protests since the recent Israel-Palestine conflict started on October 7th. Now, activists have been calling for the expulsion of the Israeli ambassador from Pretoria and a recall of South African diplomats from Tel Aviv. Israel has launched air and ground raids on the Gaza Strip following a cross-border attack by Palestinian resistance group Hamas on October 7th. Israeli bombardments in the Gaza Strip have killed at least 10,022 Palestinians, including 4,104 children and 2,641 women. The Israeli death toll is nearly 1,600 according to official figures. Besides the large number of casualties and massive displacements due to the Israeli siege of the region, basic supplies are also running low for Gaza's 2.3 million residents. And in sports news, Bam Adebayo's triple-double helped the Miami Heat hold off LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers to win 108-107. Adebayo recorded 22 points, 20 rebounds and 10 assists, while Jimmy Butler contributed a season-high 28 points. Miami had seen a 10-point lead reduced to 1 as James scored 7 of his game-high 30 points during a 1-minute 19-second period in the fourth quarter. Joel Embiid made 48 points, 11 rebounds and 6 assists as the Philadelphia 76ers beat Washington Wizards 146-128. Antetokounmpo made the tie-breaking basket with 71 seconds remaining to end the game on 36 points and 12 rebounds, while Cam Thomas led with 45 points in the Nets' loss. Now, Stephen Curry scored 34 points as the Golden State Warriors took a 120-109 victory at the Detroit Pistons. And that's a wrap on the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.